again. I bet you didn't think to see me again so soon, but here I am, ready to talk some more Baldrige. I know that you have all been patiently waiting to receive feedback on the responses you submitted just over a month ago. Before we dive into the specifics of what to expect with the feedback, let me tell you about some of the action behind the scenes. In the last 2 years, a small group of IPF employees has attended an advanced Baldrige examiner training. You may have heard me refer to this group as super users or Baldrige coaches. In attending this training, this group learned not only how to examine Baldrige applications, but how to use the criteria and look at the various aspects of processes and results. This group has now pulled together to serve as internal examiners for IPF's responses to the criteria questions. After you submitted your responses, each category was assigned one primary reviewer and one backup reviewer. The primary reviewer took the first stab at looking through the response and finding areas or processes that IPF does really well in that category, and also looked for ways that IPF could improve. From there, the backup reviewer reviewed the findings and decided if anything needed to be added, changed, or removed. Before finalizing their comments and decisions, they came to an agreement on what feedback should be given. It's important to note that the super users analyzed our responses from the perspective of an outside examiner. They did not review the responses as an IPF employee. Additionally, super users were not assigned to any category that they helped write. This outside perspective helps to remove bias and prescription from their feedback. Now, I can tell what you're thinking, mostly because I'm thinking the same thing. As you prepare to get feedback, little nervous questions start to pile up in your head. What if they specifically call out my answer? What if they didn't see what I put as a strength? Well, I'm here to tell you, clear that fear from your brain and remember the following. The feedback you get is feedback on the IPF organization's processes and not on the individual who wrote the response. Second, this feedback is not tied to our performance evaluations. It is strictly to help IPF become better overall. Finally, even if the feedback says there is an opportunity for improvement, it is not stating that your answer is wrong. Instead, it's trying to help us identify an area in which IPF as a whole can grow and improve based on the areas we said were important in the organizational profile. So what's next? What are we going to do with this feedback? Your committee leader will have additional insight into this. However, you will be asked as a committee to come up with one action plan to submit to the annual strategy retreat based on the feedback discussion to improve the IPF organization for your category. But I'll let your committee leader fill you in on the rest of the action planning details. As always, remember that you have a lot of resources here to help you through this process. Your committee leaders are prepared to help guide and facilitate the feedback process and action planning steps. Each group has at least one super user on their team. While they aren't the individuals who provided the feedback, they can be very helpful in determining what it means or how it relates back to the criteria questions. Finally, always feel free to reach out to me. I may not have all the right answers, but I can most definitely help to provide some direction. Well, now that I've set the scene for interpreting feedback, I'm going to grab some snacks for the big premiere. Everyone has worked so hard to get to this point, and I'm excited to see all of the great productions moving forward. I'll be seeing you again next month. Until next time.